Guys, it's Jessie here. I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I asked in a video a couple of weeks ago if any of you had any questions for me. It's been a little while since I did a Q&A, and I did get a few questions, so I thought I would sit down and answer them today. So I'm going to pull them up on my phone here. I'll answer them as quickly as possible, and then I'll get out of here. I was surprised at how many questions I received from you guys. I've done a few Q&A videos in the past, so I kind of figured that all of the questions that you guys had for me had been asked, but I did get some. So I'm going to go to the video where those questions were asked, and I'm just going to kind of start at the bottom and work my way up. So the first question is, are you doing online Weight Watchers or attending meetings? And that goes along with another question that was asked, that it was, are you back on Weight Watchers now? If not, are you planning to be? I missed your videos. So I am currently on Weight Watchers. I haven't been filming videos because I haven't been following the program super strictly. I've been taking it kind of really loosey-goosey and not investing too much time or energy into it. And as such, I haven't lost a ton of weight. I've lost something like 8 pounds, which is not a lot. I just don't have the heart for Weight Watchers like I used to. When I first started out on Weight Watchers, I was going to meetings, and that worked really, really well for me. But since then, I have stopped going to the meetings because it is so much more expensive, and I've been kind of on and off program, off and on for the last year or so. Without going to the meetings, I'm really thinking that Weight Watchers just isn't going to work for me. When I was filming daily videos and really keeping accountable with you guys, even just doing the online thing, it worked out okay. But unless I really want to put forth that much time and energy and effort into it, it's just not been working for me. So I'm considering going back to counting calories. I know that I need to lose the weight. It's just a matter of what's going to work for me, you know, just because Weight Watchers has worked for me in the past doesn't mean it's working for me now. Obviously it's not. I have started it and stopped the program 100 times since I stopped continuously losing weight, and I just think that in this point in time in my life, it's not for me. I know that's going to upset some of you guys. I know a lot of you were looking forward to seeing Weight Watchers videos again. I'm not going to rule it out entirely. I may go back to Weight Watchers sometime in the future, but for right now, I think I'm going to try counting calories a little bit, and just kind of see where it goes. Like I said, clearly I need to lose the weight. It's something that's really important to me, and the method that I do it isn't as important. It's just whatever's going to be the easiest for me, whatever is going to work for now. So I'm going to try downloading the MyFitnessPal app again and counting calories for a while. I'm probably not going to do too many updates in terms of weight loss on my channel because I feel so flaky. Like, I feel like I sit down and I talk to you guys about what's going on with me, and then I change it 2 weeks later, and that's not helpful to anybody. So probably won't see any weight loss videos from me for a while unless I really start getting into a groove and getting excited about it again and I want to share, but I wouldn't be on the lookout for any weight loss videos for a little while until I figure out what's going on. Okay, so the next question is, how did you meet your husband? So I think I've told this story on my channel before. I met my husband for the very first time when I was 15 years old. I lived in Florida at the time, but I was here in Michigan visiting for the summer. It was the summer between sophomore and junior year of high school. And all of my family is here in Michigan, so my sisters and I rode a bus, which was a very long ride, from Florida to Michigan, and spent the summer with my sister and all of our family. And the very first day that we got here, we actually went straight from the bus station to my cousin's baby shower. It was her baby shower that day, and she actually went into labor during that baby shower. I don't even know for sure that she made it to the baby shower. It was a long time ago. But we all left the baby shower and went to the hospital, and my husband is best friends with my cousin's baby daddy, her husband, so he was there, and that was the first time that I met him. But we kind of ran into each other a few times that summer, nothing major. I had a big crush on him. I thought he was super cute. But I was, you know, 14 at the time, 15, something like that. I think I was 15. and there was no chance that I was ever going to have a relationship with this guy. He's 4 years older than me, so when you're 15 and he's 19, that's a huge age difference, right? So, plus, he lived in Florida, or Michigan, I lived in Florida, and he had a girlfriend at the time. It was just sort of like a schoolgirl crush type situation. But a year later, in the summer that I was 16, my father passed away, and we actually moved from Florida back to Michigan, and that November I had the opportunity to run into him again. I was at a party at my cousin's house. I had just turned 17, and he was there, and he was single, and my cousin remembered how much I had had a little crush on him before, so she actually dared me to kiss him, and so I did, and it was very, very, very uncharacteristic of me. I'm not the type of person to make the first move. I am not the type of person to be bold, and I'm very shy, so it was something that I still to this day cannot believe that I did. But when I kissed him, that sort of started our whole relationship, and we moved very quickly after that. We started dating in November of 2001. We were engaged by New Year's Eve, 2001, and I was pregnant by April of 2002. So we moved very, very quickly, and we've never looked back. We are very much in love. You know, nobody really thought that we would make it, being that I was 17 at the time. I had just turned 17, but we've always known since pretty much that day that I kissed him that that was it for us. So that's kind of the story of how we initially met and then how we came together. So sorry that was long-winded. Melanie says, I want to see the ferret, and I'm assuming that she means my chinchilla, so I will insert some footage of him bouncing around in his cage. He is the cutest thing. His name is Hagrid. We've had him for 2 or 3 years now, and he is a doll. She also said, did you want more kids, and will you do another live Christmas tree? So, did I want more kids? For a long time, I thought that I did. I have 2 boys, as you know. One of them is 15, the other is 10. When my youngest was about 3, 4, getting ready to move into like school and not being home all of the time, I got a really big push to have another baby. I really wanted a girl, but it was sort of short-lived and fizzled out. I'm very, very happy with my 2 children. As some of you may know, my youngest son does have a medical condition that can be genetic. They're not 100% sure how his disease comes about, but there is possibly a genetic component. So we were told that if we had any more children, the risk of that child having Hirschsprung's disease, which is what my youngest son has, was exponentially higher. So between that and our income level and where we were in our lives and our family, we decided against having any more children. So it'll just be the 2 boys, which I'm perfectly happy about. I love being a boy mom, but I think that, you know, every woman wants a little girl to kind of raise in her image or whatever, but no more babies for us. And I've definitely moved on from that dream. Like, at this point in my life, I'm glad that we did not have any more children. Not that I would not have loved another child, but, I don't know, it wasn't in the cards for us. I'm definitely happy with just the 2. That was rambly, sorry guys. And will you do another live Christmas tree? Yes, absolutely. If you watched my holiday vlogs, my Vlogmas series, you guys know that this last Christmas we did a live tree for the very first time, and I loved it. It was so much less work and drama than I anticipated, and it was great to just bring it in, have it smell up the house and be absolutely beautiful, and then take it out at the end of the season. So yes, I think we will definitely be doing a live tree again. Okay, next question. If you were gifted a dream vacation, where would you choose to go? This could be as if it were just you and your husband, or the boys included, up to you. So, a dream vacation, I would absolutely go to Ireland or Greece. Those are the two countries that I most would love to visit and probably will never get the opportunity to. I am Irish. My dad was 100% Irish. My mom has Irish roots as well, so there's quite a bit of Irish in your girl here. So definitely would love to visit Ireland someday, and Greece is somewhere that I have just always wanted to visit. I know that I'm never going to get the opportunity to do that, but those are the places I would love to visit. On a smaller scale, I would love to take my kids to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. My husband and I are both huge Harry Potter fans. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I have a Harry Potter themed tattoo. I loved the books, not quite as much the movies. I was really just like the biggest fan of the books. My husband is a huge fan of the books and the movies as well. I even at one point in my life was a member of like a Harry Potter community online where we did like role playing. I used to write fan fiction, like huge fangirl here. So taking them to that would be amazing, and I hope to get the opportunity to do that at some point in my life. Honestly, I think that I would enjoy it more than the kids, to be honest, but that's another place I would really like to go, just on a smaller scale. So this person says, more budget info, I'm not sure how to ask. Also, what type of work does your husband do? So I think she just means that she wants me to talk a little bit about my budgeting strategies. My husband works in the sewer and drain cleaning business, so he does some plumbing, but his main job is to clear drains. So when you get a stopped up drain and you call the plumber to come to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's him that goes there. So he has been with the company that he works with for, I want to say like 20 years now. It's a very demanding job. He works a lot of hours and it's not the most glamorous job, but he enjoys it. He does really well in his position in the company. He's happy, but he works commission. So our paychecks, while we get paid weekly, which is fantastic, can really vary week to week. You know, there can be hundreds of dollars worth of difference just depending on, you know, how business was that week, whether or not my husband was on call. So it's a very varied income, and we are a single income family, so it can be difficult to budget. What I do, and I think I've touched on this in videos before, is I take the month where my husband's income was the absolute lowest it had ever been, and I divide that number by 4 for 4 weeks in the month, and that is our budget for the week. So if he brings in more than that, I sort of adjust as the weeks progress throughout the month, but I always do a bare bones budget with the smallest number that we've ever received, so that I'm not over budgeting and overstretching. It's kind of complicated. If you've ever watched any kind of YouTube videos where they talk specifically about budget and they talk about varied income, that's basically the rules that I follow. I try to keep to a weekly grocery budget, and then I just adjust as the weeks go on. So it's very complicated. It's very different than kind of your run-of-the-mill budgeting, I think, but given what we are given to work with, that's what I do. So that answers that question. The next question is there a reason you don't work outside of the home? If not, do you plan on it? When I was growing up, I always wanted to be a housewife. I know that that's not like lofty goals or anything, but all I ever wanted to be was a wife and a mother. I got pregnant with my oldest son at a very early age. I had just turned 18 when I had him. I had just graduated high school. I didn't have any plans for college, so it made sense that I be a stay-at-home mom and be there for him. And it just has always kind of remained that way. When my youngest son was born, he had so many health problems that it made sense for me to be at home with him. Also, with the level of education that I have and the very, very minimal work experience, I only had one like little part-time job. It was an internship when I was like 15, 14. So I don't have any experience, I don't have any education, so the level of job or career that I would have would not afford us enough money to really offset the cost of like daycare and things when my kids were much younger. And now that they're older and they're kind of more self-sufficient and they don't really need me as much, like in terms of mothering so much, they're getting into so many after school activities and events and things that I need to be around to take them to. It just doesn't make sense right now with the way that our lives are going for me to get a job. I would not be able to bring in enough income to really make it worth the hours that I would be away from my family. So that kind of explains that. I feel like there's a lot of I don't know, positives and negatives to being a stay-at-home mom, and I think that a lot of people think that being a stay-at-home mom is a really important job, and I think there's an equal number of people that think being a stay-at-home mom is kind of a cop-out, but especially when you have older kids like I do. But it's what my husband and I have always kind of wanted for our family. We are able to afford it, and definitely I think that we sacrifice a lot to be able to afford it, but you know, it's what's important to me right now. And will I eventually get a job? Yeah, probably. I don't think that I will ever have a super important career. But I think that as my kids get older and they move away, I'm definitely going to want to fill my time with something. So I'll probably get a part-time job at some point, maybe even a full-time job, but I don't think I will ever have a big fancy formal career. And that's fine with me. I'm okay with that.